I believe a night like tonight, KD drops 50.
We know their guys play better and more comfortable when they're in there, sleeping in their own beds at home. We got our work cut out for us, but we're looking forward to it.
Let's get down to business.
Obviously, he's not himself, but he's a soldier and he's fighting for his teammates.
That's it for this first half. It's been all Milwaukee.
So let's get down to business.
Durant for three. Durant fires and hits. This is a classic game for Kevin Durant. 2-point Brooklyn lead. Middleton with a pass and broken up.
Signature performance for Kevin. Him to have the toughness, the mentality, that's what makes him one of the all-time greats.
What a game, Stephen A. You were just about spot on. A historic performance last night by KD, propelling the Nets to overcome significant odds to take a 3-2 lead in the series over the Bucks, a 114-108 win. KD played all 48 minutes, shooting 70% from the field, finishing with 49 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists to become the first player in NBA history to record a 45-15-10 game in the playoffs. So how you feeling, KD?
I don't even rank or, look at performances. I mean, once they happen, I just try to move on and see if I can do it again. It was a fun game to be a part of.
Historic performance. I mean, he played the entire game. He barely missed. We know he's capable of nights like this, but to do it tonight, we lose Kai. James obviously is soldiering through, his ailments. We're down bodies, we're wounded, and for him to have the toughness, the mentality, that's what makes him one of the all-time greats. And so this is a performance that, a signature performance, for Kevin, and it was beautiful to watch.
The greatness was on full display. LeBron James shouting him out. Greatness, appreciate it while you can, people. And also, of course, the great Magic Johnson had to weigh in. He also had a tweet that he put out. Kevin Durant put on one of the greatest performances in NBA playoff history, scoring 49 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists, and leading the shorthanded Nets to victory, taking a 3-2 lead. Wow, that was a game. I hope no one turned that one off early because, wow, incredible till the very end. Okay, so look, after that performance, Freddie, would you say that the torch has officially been passed from LeBron James to KD?
It hasn't been passed, but he's getting closer to that flame. Let's put it that way. And he's not the only one that's closer to that flame when it comes to LeBron James being the best player in the NBA. LeBron James is still the best, but more than ever before. And that's not just Kevin Durant. There's so many other players that are getting closer and closer to that. As a matter of fact, there's a guy on his team called Anthony Davis that when he's healthy is a lot closer to LeBron James than people want to realize. But when you have that kind of performance that he had last night, and I said it before the game happened, this is the most important playoff game for Kevin Durant since the 2016 Western Conference Finals. When he played for Oklahoma City, they had a 3-1 lead in the series, and they lost that lead to the Golden State Warriors and lost that series. This was so much better, the kind of performance that he had for the first time in NBA history, that somebody had a game of at least 45 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. He did that in spectacular fashion. So the torch has not been passed yet. But more than ever before, it's a lot closer because that dude may be even better now, ladies, than when he was before the Achilles injury. And he was a cheat code as it was. He may be even more of a cheat code now, especially understanding the game, playing in a place where he's happy, having that kind of pressure and reducing that pressure in a game that the Nets, if they did not win it, they were not going to win the series. Kudos to him. The torch has not been passed, but Kevin Durant is a lot closer to that flame of LeBron James.
Charlie, if I may edit the word choice in this topic just a bit.
Okay.
I don't know that it has been passed, right? But I do feel like KD did one of these. Like I think KD is taking the torch, Freddie. And I'm going to disagree with you. I think that KD has gone and grabbed the torch and is now sitting on the mantle in the NBA. Here's what we do as consumers. The moments matter, right? And in this playoffs, especially a playoffs in which the Lakers have already been sent home, 1-2-3 Cancun, Kevin Durant gave us the moment that we're going to be talking about for quite some time. And quite honestly, moving forward, I'm looking at the complexion of this series completely different, whether or not Kyrie is able to return or if James Harden is able to go full strength. I think what we overlooked in this conversation going into this game, we've been lulled to sleep just a little bit by this idea of super teams. And KD had running mates with him in Golden State, and he had running mates originally. That was the plan in Brooklyn. And I think we forgot just how lethal the one solo entity, that being Kevin Durant, could absolutely be. My favorite post-game quote coming out of this was from James Harden. He's like, you know, you saw the game slow down for Kevin last night. In the second half, he's directing guys. He's getting to his spots. And when he elevates, there's nothing anyone not close to his height can do. The dude that didn't want to guard Giannis, KD,
wow.
That's close to his height.
It's like that, huh?
He was 100% comfortable. And I think when you see elite scorers and athletes in their zone, this is why, and this is the promise of Kevin Durant. And so the thing you mentioned about injuries is interesting, because we know that he's coming back from his Achilles. While I don't see a high ankle sprain as a career ender, we can't deny Father Time is at play when it comes to LeBron. And injuries take a different life the older you get into your career.
I hear you, but this is the first really magical playoff moment we've seen from Kevin Durant since Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Yeah, we've seen a lot more moments from LeBron James in these playoff situations. I do remember LeBron James having a 51-8-8 game. I do remember LeBron James in the chase down block in Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors when he said, "The land, this is for you." So we've seen a lot more playoff moments compared to LeBron James when it comes to Kevin Durant.
Freddie, but we talking going forward though. Like, do you think, if I had to pick between the two of these, I think that there are more playoff moments ahead for KD than I do LeBron, just in terms of the makeup of the Brooklyn Nets compared to the Los Angeles Lakers, the size of which the league they play in, the East versus the West, and what I think Brooklyn is poised to do more moving forward. I will give you that. If we were going apples to apples, KD has more work to do. But moving forward, I think when you pick up the torch, it is understood that you got more work to do, but you are now carrying it.
I get it, but so does LeBron James, because LeBron James, it's got to be killing him to be sitting at home, giving Twitter love to Kevin Durant, thinking, man, if I was out there, there's no way you busted me in the mouth with 49 points. I'd have said, hey, coach, I got to take this guy. I can't have Chris Middleton do it. I can't have PJ, no points, Tucker doing it with all the shoes. I'm going to Mike Budenholzer and say, I'm LeBron James, baby. I got to check this guy right now. That's why I don't think
the makeup of the greats.
Exactly.
I agree.
And when you're that great, if you're LeBron James, he's still that great. Think about this. In my opinion, he's the greatest athlete that's ever played in the NBA. We have never seen size, speed, and ability, and he's still doing it, about to play his second decade in the NBA. He's still the best. In the words of Ric Flair, he's still the best thing going. Woo! But until that happens, Kevin Durant is second on that list. But until that happens, the torch has not been passed yet. But it's only a matter of time, ladies. It could happen next year. It could happen the year after. But it's going to happen a lot sooner than even LeBron James wants to happen, because he still wants to be regarded as the greatest of the greats. But right now, he's still that great. But that level, getting a lot closer. Not just because of last that Kevin Durant's been able to do, but what he's been able to do being maybe the most efficient scorer that we've seen in the NBA in the last 25 to 30 years. He got 49 points last night. He didn't have to take 490 shots. Yeah. That's how efficient he was. He's around that flame. He wants to grab it, but LeBron's like, not yet. But it's only be a matter of time. LeBron's got to go, here you go, and I have to step aside.
Okay, so look, Giannis has said that he looks forward to guarding KD in Game 6. Maybe a little too late, but that is what he has said.
Maybe.
But let's talk about KD. For the third time in his career, he has played all 48 minutes in this game. Guess who last did it? The first player to do so in the playoffs back in 2018? LeBron James. So he's following right in those footsteps. All right, guys, we got to go, but we have a lot more to get to on First Take. We're already off to a very hot and unfortunately exciting start in some cases. Well, Russell Westbrook, Trae Young, and Donovan Mitchell all snubbed from the All-NBA teams, but who actually deserved to be left off? That debate coming your way. Plus, tons of quarterback storylines coming up. The latest on Aaron Rodgers' saga. Will Joe Burrow lead Cincy to the playoffs? And is Tua definitely going to be the right one for the job? Keep it locked right here to First Take.
The only information that you need to know is that I don't have a mushroom on the top of my head like you.
Hart said you don't have a lineup, you have a circle up.
The only black man I know with a toupee.
That's Michael Irvin with the toupee. That's not me.
Two black men. Two black men I know with toupees.